Tri-Ball is ready. The Tri-Ball Pinball Podcast starts now.
Do you feel the energy?
I do.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Tri-Ball Pinball Podcast. I am Johnny Pinball.
And I am Matt McCarty. And joining us this evening, we have a good friend of ours and the proprietor of the Lumberjack Johnny's Pinball and Axe Throwing Lounges in Green Bay and Appleton, Mr. David Oshefsky.
Good evening, gentlemen. Happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, filling in for Neil yet again. We couldn't make our schedules work, so that is why Dave is here.
We did get to see Neil. Did you?
I did not. I had to visit my family, which was back on the side of the state he came from, so we kind of probably crossed paths.
I was lucky enough to run into him at the Flippin' Fridays briefly for the tournament.
Yep.
So he's alive. He can play pinball still. All is well.
Yeah, we played a game at Lumberjack Johnny's Wednesday night. Him and Tom showed up, and it was almost closing. And, of course, they're like, you want to join us? And then Tom puts up $1.5 billion, and then Neil puts up $1 billion some and has got 2 extra balls. I'm like, I'm just leaving, guys. They had to close anyway.
Sure, yeah. It's not like you have the keys, Matt.
Not yet.
All right, what do you think we should start with today? News? Tournaments coming up, past tournaments, or our favorite buy, sell, burn?
We do have a very interesting tournament coming up at Lumberjack Johnny's. We finally put a date on it.
January 27th.
27th, correct, in the probably first ever Bond 60th Heads Up.
First and may very well be the only. I don't know.
Correct.
Pretty rare occurrence. I'm excited for that. Tom's going to be there streaming with his, and he's going to have his machine. We'll have ours there. But this is something that I'm very excited about, just because I don't think this is something that everybody's going to do.
No, and you don't even see 2 of those machines together at pinball shows.
No,
you know,
let alone in the same city,
right?
Or at the same place.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing tournament. I hope I can make it. That weekend is a little sus for me, but we'll see.
Hopefully.
It's my birthday weekend, and I had plans already.
Oh.
I tell you, decisions to make. But, so we've got that coming up in about, 2 months away?
Correct.
We've got an amazing grand champion wrestling style belt. So this is, a nice, great big wrestling style belt for the grand champion. It's got Bond on the front of it and big silver. Matt's already got one, but I think this one's better.
Yeah, Matt has one. Neil has one. I don't have one. This is my turn to win.
Now's your chance.
Would you say it's going to be the same format like that Foo Fighters where there's just objectives?
Correct.
For those who don't know, there was a Foo Fighters Heads Up at Lumberjack Johnny's Green Bay.
And a James Bond Pro one as well.
Yes.
It's a really cool tradition. I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah, I think we'll do less of those in Green Bay, more of them in Appleton, just because we've got more room there. And if we're going to have a stream it, if Tom's going to stream it, it's a lot closer to his home. So that makes it a lot easier for him, too.
A little synergy going on there. I like. Now, we could roll into the Appleton location. New to me, probably not new to you. You've been planning it for a while. So what made you decide to open up a second spot?
So we've had the escape room for years, and we do a lot of corporate events in between the two, the Lumberjack Johnny's and the escape room, where we'll offer up combination deals where they can do an escape room, some axe throwing, and have some drinks afterwards. And this space opened up attached to directly next to the escape room. So we actually put a double door in between the two, and they're now physically attached. So people exit the escape room, and we encourage them to head next door for a bite or a beer and pinball or axe throwing. It's had a nice buzz locally, and we have just done a soft opening where we've told our friends and family to come on by and check it out, and it's been pleasantly busy. We're doing our grand opening on December 9th, which we're kicking it off with a axe throwing tournament. We've got 14 lanes of axe throwing, and it is a great facility for that, with the lanes, the room, and the lighting we have. We recently had the Waddle World Axe Throwing League. It's kind of like the axe throwing equivalent Pinball's IFPA, the governing body with the regulation and the rules. They had a Pro-Am tournament in Appleton, and we were one of their designated practice facilities. And we had a lot of people, a lot of owners from other facilities and axe stores from all over the world come to our place. And we got nothing but compliments on the facilities, the boards, the setups, the lighting. We've got a full kitchen. We've got beer, seltzers, so you can have a little beverage while you play your pinball.
And I think I saw you had a private lounge you could rent out. Was it the Birch Room?
We do. We call it the Birch Room. It's a little lounge off to the side. I keep telling Matt that's where we're going to play our WWE right in there on the big screen.
Nice.
So not only do you have all that axe throwing, but you know what our listeners are probably excited about. If you are up to date, you have on the pinball map here, it says you have 23 games there.
That's correct.
With some heavy hitters there. Of course, Bond 60th. I'm seeing the Beatles there. Galactic Tank Force, Godfather.
GTF.
Yeah, GTF, guys.
Labyrinth. Don't forget Labyrinth.
We got Labyrinth.
Is that the only one in the state, Labyrinth?
No, there's 2 in the state.
I always had the first one. We had ours just a couple days after theirs.
If we transition into Labyrinth, what made you decide to get that game?
That was one that my wife decided we were going to buy before we seen any photos, any gameplay, or anything. She had heard Labyrinth, and she said, we're going to get it. There's a few games that she picks out, and there's a lot of games I pick out, so when she says she wants a game, I don't really argue. So the games that she's picked out are Willy Wonka, Labyrinth, and then Scooby-Doo. So she's very heavy on the theme. If there's a theme she likes, we get it.
All right, that's keeps up with the slogan.
Happy wife.
Yeah.
And for every 5 machines I buy, she picks out one, so I'm not going to argue.
That's a good ratio. Matt, you've probably played Labyrinth more than me. What are you thinking now that you have a couple games on it?
It's fun. It shoots pretty well. I struggle with a couple of the shots here and there. The multi-ball mechanic is the super jackpot mechanic I really like a lot. It's kind of different and very interesting, where basically it catches one of your active balls behind a fork, and then you need to hit that ball directly into a spinner behind it, and the more spins, the more points. So it's pretty neat. Yeah, I still don't have a huge understanding, but I can... that's usually me with any game that's not a Stern. Sterns, I get. I can dissect. I know how the rules, I know what's going to go on. I can figure out pretty much everything, but any other game I struggle with a little bit, especially like Godfather, Labyrinth. GTF, I kind of get it. I need more time on it, and luckily there's one in the area. But it shoots really well. For their first game, pretty impressive.
I don't know if you guys tune into other podcasts too much. I can't remember where I heard it. Apologies if it was your podcast. It's very interesting. I had commented that I got into the multi-ball on Ball 3 at Expo, and I was kind of excited about it. Turns out they had it on easy mode at Expo, where everyone got a multi-ball on Ball 3. So now I feel like I didn't earn it.
Well, I think it's set so if you're on Ball 3, it'll light all 3 of your lock shots, and if you just hit one of them, you start multi-ball. That's the way it is at Lumberjack Johnny's right now.
All right.
So it could have been the same.
So you didn't change the settings, Dave?
Not right now. We've played it, but I'll wait till we do a deep dive into it and get some real plays on it before we start changing things. Right now, it's got its new car smell, and everybody just is coming in to play a game or two. So I'm not going to make it harder until we start getting into our tournaments and leagues.
All right, makes sense. I think the question everyone is asking is, did you get the Barrel of Fun t-shirt?
Not only did I get one, I've got 3 t-shirts.
That is amazing. Are you auctioning them off?
I got one for my wife, one for Johnny Pinball, and one to give away.
Yes! You heard that, folks. I will do my next video in that shirt.
Why aren't we doing a launch party?
We should.
Yeah, Stern doesn't have the monopoly on launch party term. We can make a plaque.
No, I've done launch parties on Valhalla. We did a ladies launch party on GTF. We did a ladies launch on Scooby-Doo. And I don't see why we shouldn't do one for Labyrinth. In fact, I'm going to reach out and see if they give us any prize support. Why not?
Yeah.
It's a great idea, guys. Be the first launch party.
Yeah, too bad we didn't think of it sooner. Because you need that 30 days to get your IFPA approval,
Well, maybe it could be the warm-up tournament before the Bond 60th, like the weekend before or something.
Could be for just funsies.
And no, it's fine to wait, because that way, the game will get kind of put through its paces a bit, and we'll figure more stuff out about it.
And I do have to say, we did have an issue with it, and their support was all over it right away. It ended up being a real easy fix. There was a screw that had come loose. Happens with pinball machines. That's nothing out of the ordinary, and it worked its way right into a rollover switch and had fell into the crack of the playfield, and it had stopped the switch just enough to where it was indicated it was on. So it was closed. So when we went through the test function and tried to bypass the switch, it just wasn't doing anything. So then message them. They gave me a bunch of things to check. I've been busy. I didn't get a chance to check. Here comes Chris from Kingpin Games. He's dropping off another game for me, and he says, let's take a look at it. We pop up the play field, and he turns his headlamp on, and I say, it's this switch right here with that screw stuck in it. And I didn't see the screw in it until his headlamp was shining on it. I pulled that out, and it worked beautifully.
It's always the easiest things. I'm glad it was an easy fix.
Yeah, hats off to them. They responded right away. They had potential troubleshooting tricks right away. They were then they were asking me what's going on with it. So I was really appreciative of both Kingpin and Barrels of Fun for hopping right on it. I hope that's an indicator of their service to come. That's important as an operator to get the service and the support you need.
Yeah, kind of contrast that with maybe some other, manufacturers here on our list. Do you want to talk about your experience with Haggis and Fathom?
That's a touchy subject with me. So I have had a mermaid on order for a very long time. And every time I email, it's going to be coming in another 6 to 8 weeks. I've been reassured that it's going to ship by the end of the year, but we've missed several ship dates to the point to where they don't want to give me a ship date because they're up front and say they think they're going to miss the ship date. However, I don't know. They say it's COVID delays. I'm in manufacturing myself, and that's ship sailed a year ago. I don't think you can use that for an excuse anymore.
And from what I understand, they said, or what's his nuts, Damien, that once you pay in full, you'll have your game in 8 weeks. And you paid in full in April, was it?
End of April.
Yeah.
So hopefully get it in 8 months.
8 months, not weeks.
It's not quite been 8 months yet.
It's close.
Yeah. I hope that they ship them before they start shipping Centaur. I would be a very bitter person if that happens.
And they tried to get you in on a Centaur as well, didn't they?
Well, I was interested in one too, but I don't know. After this, I'd have to think long and hard before buying another one. And if I did, it'd probably be on the secondary market because I just and you know what? Maybe I'll get the game and I'll love it so much that all of this goes away. But right now, there's a little bit of concern and bitterness with Haggis and my Fathom.
All right, I think it's good to hear your side of the story because we often hear it from the other side where there's another podcast with one of their employees on it, and they've recently said that they're all shipping out or have shipped out for the Fathom builds, which is not true in your case.
Well, and I'm forever and up, and I really hope that they do get them all out and that they are successur. I encourage and want as much pinball as possible in this world. I just I'm not entirely happy with the send me your money. We're 8 weeks from boxing, and we've been a lot further away, and I still haven't gotten an actual boxing date. And then I'm going to air freight it because I don't want to wait another 3 months as it crosses the ocean and gets stuck in customs
or lost.
Yeah.
Well,
lose a pinball machine.
I'm sure it's happened before. You just don't want to have another excuse coming up.
Yeah, that's a bummer to hear.
On the lighter side, I'm going to have an Elton John here pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about that.
I played that at Expo and absolutely fell in love with it. I've always been an Elton John fan. I've got the Elton John and the Brown Dirt Cowboy home version. I've got the Captain Fantastic, and I'm going to have this one, and I'm very excited to get it. It's just being an Elton John fan, but this game, it's playing it. It's got the Steve Ritchie flow, but then it's offset with the Jersey Jack flippers. So
So are you thinking from testing at Expo that the flippers weren't as good as a Stern, or as powerful, rather?
Every manufacturer's got a feel to it. Jersey Jacks, you can go from machine to machine. They all have that same flipper feel, just like a Stern. It's my opinion. It's not right or wrong. I think that you can hop on any Stern and you know what the flipper is going to do unless somebody's adjusted the settings.
But, I mean, in all honesty, you can't trust a machine that's been ridden like Seattle Slew over a weekend. That's an old reference. But and they turn the flipper power down so they don't burn up.
Do they?
When they're at
Do
shows
they turn it
like
down?
that. That game was being, I'd imagine, played all day.
You have a good point there, but any one of my Jersey Jacks at home, even on location, I'll typically turn up the flippers just a little bit.
Yeah, so make sure you do that when you get Elton.
Jersey Jack went on the record saying they're the same flippers. It's just they're turned up higher by default on Elton John.
Okay.
So I guess you'll see when you get it in the box. Check the default setting and be our reporter on that.
Yeah, I've got a checklist for every game based on the manufacturer. Stern, the first thing I do is I turn down the back box light on gameplay to 10% because I don't like that reflection. Then
I do the same.
I go to the trough settings, and the trough kickout, I put that at 180 instead of 240 so it doesn't mess up your play field. And then go through and make the game adjustments.
So with Sterns, this is just a thought. It's not in our script. I was thinking with that Insider Connect app, kind of getting some upgrades. Now they have an actual app. On the operator side of thing, is there any functionality to remotely change the settings?
So I can see the daily plays. There are warnings on there if there's switch warnings and different things. There are some errors and faults that show up on it. It certainly doesn't replace somebody being on site with eyes on. It's not going to tell you if there's a stuck ball. But
Sure.
If there's
But could you remotely, say you had 10 Sterns, could you remotely change them all to free play for a tournament from your PC?
No, I hope at some point that comes. I would love, I've seen with the new updates that free play is like
it's number one.
Number one now. Now, if you really wanted to make me happy, number 2 would be extra balls. So,
and number 3 would be comp mode.
Yeah, those are the 3 that, as an operator, those are the 3 you're always messing with when you go to a league or tournament.
Right, and I sometimes forget about the extra balls. They were off at the TNC pub for a week or two until we stopped there. And even I turned them back on at Lumberjack Johnny's on Friday?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it.
So if we have any super geniuses listening in the audience who work at Stern, maybe work on that.
So I have a quick question for you, Dave, and it might not be that quick, but as an operator, you've pretty much, and you basically have owned a game from every manufacturer. I mean, you've had your Big Lebowski on location very briefly, but it was there for like a full tournament, and obviously Stearns, Jersey Jacks, now the Barrels of Fun, not a Haggis yet or anything, Spooky. Let me know if I'm Gottlieb, I guess, but let me know if I'm forgetting anything. But out of the American Pinball, you've had a few. So is there anyone that stands out maintenance wise or service wise? Like, what are your favorites, I guess, or the more people that have been the most pleasant to deal with, and which games are just more robust?
We by far have the fewest issues with Stern. We keep coil stops on hand, so that's a known weak point for me anyway.
Well, that's like buying shoes for your kids,
because Matt's old Mother Hubbard here.
I mean, you're gonna have to do it at some point.
It's a consumable, but so we've got that. Stern's support is not great. Now I go through my dealer Kingpin, and that's superb. So a lot of times I'll get on the phone with Kingpin, and they just take care of it. Where if I have any board issues, it's now I've actually bought some, and I have some in inventory that I keep because we have enough Sterns. But Kingpin would send me one, and I'd send them the bad one, and they'd just take care of it for me. But I think they've gotten better, but it's still it's still not like the Spooky or an American where they've got some definite customer service, in my opinion. But the other, I've had the fewest problems with Stern, whereas a Spooky, they're great games, but you're always fiddling with something. Big Lebowski, we had an issue with the cable, but once that got replaced, I never had any issues. I haven't had any issues with that. We play a lot of that. The reason why that's not on route is because we play a lot of it at home. That's the only reason why. And, American's been pretty bulletproof. I don't ever remember having to fix anything. Well, we had a couple issues with Legends of Valhalla, but it was taken care of right away.
Yeah, like that night at the launch party, and that's when Dave Brennan was working their customer service, and he was the best at it. He was amazing.
Yeah,
you could call him whenever.
Yeah, we probably abuse that relationship a little bit.
Yeah, a little
bit. We would call him, hey, this is happening, and he would drop whatever he's doing to help you. But there's times where off hours or on a weekend, but he always answered. So.
Well, that's interesting to hear. Ben, you have one of these games, but not on location, but a P3.
I would never put that on location.
Say that again. You broke up.
I would never, ever put a P3 on location.
Clipped.
It is. The games are fun. I enjoy them, but I'm constantly having issues. Either it be module related or machine related. In fact, I got to dig into it right now because I think were you playing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt's playing it. The game freezes up, and I'm like, we just got a power cycle. It does that sometimes. So it's happened. It's such a common occurrence. It is. I'm not even upset by it anymore. And I turn it back on, but none of the buttons respond. So I messaged the guy I got it from, who's a dealer, and he's always been great to help me. But he just, hey man, I'm at deer camp. I'm like, yeah, it's no big deal. It's just at my house. Let me know. He messaged me back later and he says, check the batteries. Maybe the battery's out. Other than that, I'll contact him. Let's get together on Monday. I didn't call him today because I was busy, but it's always been little issues with it. I wouldn't trust it on location because I know I'd be sending somebody out, either myself or Patrick, my tech, to go take a look at it.
And that's not something I'd lift the hood on if I was just there casually playing.
No,
I mean, I'm happy to help you with the little things. Stuck balls, maybe a rubber here and there, but I'm not touching it. I've seen the inside of that P3. I'm not cut out for that.
It is a great home machine, especially if you've got limited space, because you can easily switch out the modules. And
yeah,
I now own every module.
So you don't have any intention of getting rid of it in your home environment?
I don't think so. I really like, I'm really liking Final Resistance. It is a great game. It feels like the most pinball game that they've had.
I think that's a compliment too. That's been right because the play field is static on Final Resistance, or mostly static. Mostly static.
I'll admit I'm a huge fan of Scott Denisi too. His music and his light shows. What he the things he did with TNA, and I know he was on Rick and Morty a little bit, but those are all games I like.
Yeah, I see a TNA right behind you in camera. So.
Yes, there is one behind me.
I missed that at District 82. It was always a fun play.
Do you still have the power balls in it?
I do. I took out the balls. There's no magnets in it, so I took out the balls and put in the ceramic power balls from Twilight Zone in it, and now it is just ridiculously fast and fun.
Yeah, Johnny, I was in the middle of playing Final Resistance, and I was like, oh, bummer. I was trying to get a good feel, but yeah, the inserts, it looks cool. It looks like an old school pinball machine, kind of.
So out of the modules, we hear a lot about Final Resistance, we hear a lot about Weird Al and Heist. Would you say those are their best three games, or just the most public of the three games?
It's like anything, it's subject to opinion. My personal favorite is Final Resistance. Then it's a toss-up between Heist and Lexi Lightspeed. Weird Al is great when everything's working. Cosmic Card is probably in Ken. Cosmic Card I like, but I don't play it a lot. And Ken Lagoon, I could, I have it, but I could take it or leave it.
Do you have what's that, Drained? Is that what it's called?
That one I don't. I seen the video and the play on it, and it's just, I guess I don't have them all because I don't have that one. I don't know if I'd buy that one. It looks like it's a lot of shooting up on the top and then nudging it around to try to hit all those targets.
I don't know if you're big into PC gaming or whatnot, but that like font and everything reminds me of the classic Mac games, like from the late 80s, the Macintosh games. I wonder if he was going for that.
I had those on discs, and I'd go to the computer lab in school.
Does it not just look like that, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes me curious to play it.
I mean, I would like to play it. Those are one of the ones where I definitely want to play it before I buy it, and the chances of me running into somebody that has one isn't very likely.
Yeah, so I'm getting like Dark Castle vibes from it. Yeah, pretty cool. What do you say we take a little break here and go on to a segment that we like to call Buy, Sell, Burn? You guys excited to burn a game?
No, because they're all Steve Ritchie games.
Well, all right. Spoiler, cat's out of the bag. Steve Ritchie games because Elton John's coming out. We heard the Black Knight Topper might be rerun, so that'd be a good time to do Steve Ritchie games. And with a little twist, they're all Steve Ritchie Sterns.
Stern advertiser rerunning it. It's like Black Knight Friday. They did a Facebook post about, and they showed we're doing the Topper
So, yeah, I know Matt's got one on order for Venom.
Oh, gosh.
It'd be so cool. But the games are Led Zeppelin Premium, Black Knight Sword of Rage Premium, and Star Wars Premium. All right, Matt, go.
Definitely buy Star Wars Premium. That's not a hard choice. I enjoy that game. The Premium can be a little frustrating if the kick out from the Death Star isn't good. Or, making the shot. That's why the Pro's nice for your hyperspace hurry up. You just need to, you can backhand it. You don't need to go all the way up the ramp and go into the Hyperloop. But still a great game. Lots of cool modes. I'd burn Black Knight. And I'd sell Led Zeppelin. I do like the Led Zeppelin Premium. I really enjoy spinners. And the center spinner is very satisfying. And I like that. So those are my choices.
Very interesting. I never took you as a Star Wars guy for your favorite game.
Well, we only have 3 of them to choose from.
All right, Dave, do you have an opinion?
Yeah, I would buy Led Zeppelin Premium. I would trade Star Wars Premium because I have one, and I think I would just rather have the Led Zeppelin Premium because I don't have one. And I would burn Sword of Rage just because it frustrates the shit out of me.
Burn!
That's 2 burns for my baby. I am buying Black Knight Sword of Rage because it's a Black Knight game and it has amazing music. I think the Premium's better than the Pro. The Pro is just empty, kind of like Led Zeppelin Pro. The Premium just completes the game. Now, that upper playfield, yeah, it could have a little bit more on it, but otherwise, great game. And the Magna Save should be in the right position. So I think that's a day 1 mod. Move the Magna Save button to the flipper button side.
Oh, that frustrated me so much at the tap room. I was on Black Knight, and the ball was, like, resting on the post. Like, it wasn't flying into the outlane, and I hit Magna Save, and it just falls down in the outlane.
You're like, son of a...
Come on.
Steve Ritchie, yeah. Or I guess you probably just yell Stern. They probably cost cut it. Because, I mean, they had the second button for Munsters, so you know they can do it.
Yeah, but
Right.
now you got a custom cabinet and a custom lockdown bar where you can just keep rolling with the same one that you use for everything else.
But they could reuse the Munsters cabinet. I already had the holes drilled. They could just put a plug on the other side. And it could still have the lockdown button also work, kind of glow like it does. But, that's my opinion. So I would sell Led Zeppelin Premium. I think it's a fun game. The only thing that game is missing is a kickback. It's so designed for kickback, but doesn't have one. Otherwise, the Premium's perfect. Such a fun game. And then I'm going to burn Star Wars Premium. Sorry, guys. I think the Hyperloop gets in the way of your vision a little bit. I know that's not the main reason. And then if you don't make all your shots, if you know how the Death Star shot has that little ramp that comes up. Well, if you get it around the backside, you got to wait for the ramp to lower to get your ball back. So it kind of kills the flow.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And I prefer the Pro for those reasons. Did I convince you, Matt, to switch any of your votes?
No, and I think they're all great games. I do like Black Knight a lot. When you get going on that game, it's great, especially the Premium. If you get like the 6-ball multi-ball, if you have the skill to do that, it feels very satisfying. But, I mean, just out of the 3, I guess I'd want more time on Zeppelin than Black Knight with the spinner in the middle.
And they got the spinner sound perfect on Led Zeppelin. It's mint. Unlike, Georgie Jack, unlike your sound design, your sounds just don't work for me. Except I saw in Elton John, they used like that Star Trek Next Gen for the alligator or crocodile little sound effect. Thought that was perfect.
Oh,
I can remember the exact moment when I knew I wanted to burn Sword of Rage.
Oh, no, tell me.
No, I had it in my house, and I played it and played it and played it. And I thought I had racked up some pretty decent scores. And my friend Russ comes over and he's like, "Do you mind if I GC your Sword of Rage?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." Like on ball 2, he had.
Was he camping in the upper Flayfield?
He just had a great game. He was doing everything right. He was up in the upper playfield. He was everywhere. It's not hard to get back up on that upper playfield.
I didn't know it was worth a whole lot of points up there unless you just got catapult multi-ball or whatever, but
It's that the one thing I did like about that game is it is relatively easy to get back up in that upper playfield. There's some games where I just struggle to get up there, but that's one where it was easy to get up.
It's doable. I mean, the hard part is the knight because he's so close to the flippers. I think at least because if you miss, comes right back at you.
yeah.
There is rumor along with the topper that they're going to remake an LE version of this game because Stern's been doing a lot of LEs. You got Jurassic Park 30th, you've got Blood Red Kiss LE, and this one's swirling around. I named it the King's Ransom LE. I don't know if that's what it's going to be called.
That's a good name.
Think this gets remade?
Yeah, they should just throw a D&D theme on top of it. I'd buy it.
Oh, okay.
That's a good
Dungeons
segue.
and Dragons.
So there's a lot of rumors floating around. Obviously, Jaws is probably the most solid. But then for Stern, the next rumors are Dungeons and Dragons, Pokemon, and John Wick, I believe. And then the Metallica remake.
Yeah, that's what Kaneda's been saying.
Yeah. And then Jersey Jack, Harry Potter, and The Matrix.
Yeah, but those are a long ways away. They haven't even shipped Elton John yet.
Correct.
If we're going to focus on Stern with Jaws coming, under over, I guess, you guys, what do you guys think it's going to come out in December or January?
I'd say January.
I think if it was going to come out yet this year, they would have probably already got it. I think they would have probably already. I mean, what do I know though? They would have probably listed it so people would get it for Christmas.
I'm thinking next year too. They seem to always have something. Was that spring show? Is it IAPA in early January?
Well, no, IAPA just
happened.
Oh, well, there's a spring show they always do.
Texas Pinball Festival, MGC.
Where did they reveal Munsters?
I don't know. Midwest Gaming Classic.
Anyway, I'm going to look it up. You guys can fill the air here.
Jersey Jack actually released Wonka at the MGC. But anyway, obviously Dungeons and Dragons would be a theme you'd be interested in, Dave.
Yeah.
I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
One of my big hobbies outside of my hobby right behind pinball. But I have an original D&D game. In fact, I need to pull that out. It's been in my shop entirely too long.
Yeah, I didn't even know he still had it.
Yeah, that's what I'll never sell.
So, theme options, Dungeons and Dragons. We have the most recent movie. We have the animated 80s TV show.
Cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, animated. And then you could just do it on like the lore and the art of the game and the manuals itself. What direction would you prefer they would take on that?
Part of me wants the 80s cartoon, but I don't know what the licensing would be on that. I'm just guessing it'd be easier to license something like that movie. What I did like about the movie is that they had a lot of fan service in there, and they had even the 80s cartoon characters were in the final fight there in that labyrinth Coliseum. One of the other parties in that fighting that was them just in human form. There's a lot of fan service in that movie, so I think that they could do it off the movie and make everybody happy.
Fair enough.
And this just in, the show that is in spring is the CES, January 9th.
The Consumer Electronics Show?
That's my prediction when we'll see Jaws. Dungeons and Dragons, I think that's going to be the summer release. Probably John Borg would be my guess.
He'd do a good job with it.
Where did that rumor come from?
Rumor Corner, of course. Rumor Corner.
It's been floating around.
Rumor corner.
You need to get back behind the paywall, Dave.
I refuse.
Is there is there a paywall I don't know about?
Canada.
Oh, his paywall. Okay, yeah.
But other people have talked about it. I thought Zach Meny might have mentioned it as well, but I could be wrong.
It's hard to keep it straight because if you listen to more than one podcast, you're like, where did I hear that?
I listen to just about all of them as I'm working or driving. I do a lot of driving, so.
And I do have a recommendation to our listeners out there, and we appreciate you listening, is you should vote for us in the Twippy Awards.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming up December, I want to say December 18th-ish. Voting will open, and we would qualify for favorite pinball podcast or new pinball podcast.
Why not both?
Yeah, why not both, as Dennis Kriesel would say.
But I'm going to be torn this year.
Oh, you better vote for us.
Well, I'll vote for us. I mean, I won't vote for Canada. Well, he'll get, like, my second vote. But, like, my favorite pinball location
Oh, yeah.
used to always be District 82.
If that's on the ballot.
It always is, and always does Jackwagon Arcades in Illinois win it. But now, ooh,
I'd still vote for District 82. I want him to get it at least once.
be nice to see.
He would need to run a marketing campaign because clearly those other places get everyone to vote for them.
Yeah, they got the friend vote or whatever, like.
And I just don't see Eric doing that.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he knows what he has. He doesn't need a trophy to be proud of it.
I just confirmed it is December 18th. Voting does start. So everyone, be ready. I expect your vote.
So, refresh my memory. Are you voting for nominations? Or is there a pre-vote to get nominations?
That was changed this year. It's just a single vote. This could be chaotic because in the past you had the nomination, so it was down to like 10 options.
Right.
Now it's just, you just vote. The only rule is you have to be in the TWIP database. So if you were to go to the TWIP Pinball Promoters database, if anyone's name is in there, they're eligible to be voted on.
Okay. Are we in there under Triball though, or is it under like the pinball?
I will check right now, but I'm very certain.
Because I was looking for it the other day, but it's big. It's big. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to navigate the page. If you're looking for a certain podcast, you just gotta sit and click and click and click.
We are under Triball. That's TRI-BALL.
Nice.
And while you look us up, how about someone give us a review? We don't have any reviews yet. Appreciate a 5-star review.
That would be great.
So yeah, it's under that. It's not underneath the Totally Pinball Network, if that's what you're asking.
Back up. You just asked for a review. Where's that review at?
This Week in Pinball.
Week in Pinball, okay.
Because they have the promoters database.
Let's get back to the rumored games.
Those are the Stern. Jersey Jack, they'd have a lot of money on their hands if they had those licenses. Dutch, I mean, Back to the Future.
Matt, we need to go back to the future.
That would be a game you'd want out like right before Christmas, because like wives could buy it for all the men my age.
Oh, your wife's gonna buy it for you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. I'm gonna keep it 100, as the kids say. Dutch has a very shaky track record. They kind of screwed over all their buyers on The Big Lebowski. And then they were kind of reborn, where they're like, hey, for every 4 games you buy, we'll give 1 to someone we promised a game to a decade ago. Do you really trust them to deliver?
Is that what that Achievers Edition is?
That's exactly what that is.
I didn't know they were making games that long, I guess.
Yeah, my experience was I said I want to order one. They said it is roughly a 12-month waiting period before it ships, and then another 6 weeks to get over here. And it was right on. So I paid my deposit. They completed the game. They shipped the game to the U.S. I think I paid my final balance when it arrived in the U.S. before it shipped to me.
Was that through CoinTaker?
It was through CoinTaker.
Okay, I think... Yeah, that's when some legitimacy came to the company, is when they partnered with them. That was after everyone thought they had just left those people high and dry, and then they kind of came back. So you got yours within the promised time. That's good news. But do you think they have the capacity? I feel like Back to the Future is an A-tier theme. Like, they would sell Guns N' Roses levels of them.
Well, yeah, it's the ultimate theme. I mean, and I know I'm saying that from a man my age, but that's one of the most popular movies that people just love, and it has been just a classic. It's the right demographic for pinball, like pretty much
40 to 60, they say.
Well, maybe for the people that are buying the pinball machines,
right?
not for
that
these
are buying, yeah.
tournament players that are all young boys. But yeah, it'd be good. But I don't see, if you want to be realistic, like that'd be a tough license to get, I think. And you can't really get Michael J. Fox to do call-outs. Yeah, you can get Christopher Lloyd, perhaps, but or maybe just if they could use movie clips.
Yeah, I think movie clips, kind of like Pulp Fiction, doesn't have real callouts. It has movie clip callouts.
Correct.
You could kind of use that. Could go that route, and maybe you could just get a voice actor who's just very enthusiastic. Because sometimes you get these actors, like maybe in the Queen game, where Brian May is like, jackpot, someone with a little more enthusiasm.
Stranger Things. Extra ball.
Yeah, David Harbour.
That is the most disappointing extra ball ever. Extra ball.
Extra ball.
And that was probably the best one after 10 takes.
Speaking of Pulp Fiction, Dave, any updates on when yours is shipping?
Nothing. I love Chicago Gaming though. That's another company where their stuff just works. I know they're really slow to do their Cactus Canyons. I got an early one because I put mine on location, but I've been very happy with it. It's performed well. I like it. I've only played Pulp Fiction. I missed MGC this past year, but I did get to play it at Expo for the first time, and I really liked it.
It's a great shooting game.
It's almost there for me. I don't think they went retro enough, meaning there's not an option to have the music downgraded to like what it would be at the time, like a Williams sound system style, like the MIDI sounds. I feel like if they're going for the alphanumeric, you got to have the alphanumeric sounds.
And I'm the guy that takes the old games and puts the new sound in them.
Yeah.
So what is that? Is that Pin Sound? Is that a product that does that?
I've done Pin Sound, but I've also taken some MP3 triggers and double stack switches and stuck them in games. I did that for Nugent so that I can get my own sounds, and I just...
Well, Nugent, that's pretty basic. I'll forgive you on that.
I bought product too. I just bought, forgive me, I don't remember the name of the manufacturer now, but I bought a board that hijacks the signal in Silver Ball Mania and gives you new gameplay. But I seen the wave file trigger that they're using on it, and it's the same one. It's the same trigger I used in the past. So I knew I could work with that. So I loaded my own music on it, and I really like it.
All right. So what I'm hearing out of this is I could create my own custom soundtrack for Pulp Fiction and downgrade it.
People do that a lot, don't they, though, on other, like, people...
On Stearns. Apparently it's somewhat easy on Stearns.
Basically an SD card.
Now, you could do that prior to Insider Connect.
Correct. Because they'll know. Now Big Brother is watching.
No, it's not that they're looking, but you're rewriting the code, and when you update the game, it rewrites that SD card. And
I think it's like a game of cat and mouse where you have to get Pinball Browser, certain version. And whenever that version comes out, the games, it's like, oh, it's compatible with Deadpool 1.3, let's say. And then like the next day, Stern releases Deadpool 1.4, and 1.3 is gone from the internet, so you can't really update it unless you had it.
I know, and I'll leave this person's name out of this for the safety in case the FBI is listening, but they had the Jurassic Park newest code, but with the film assets. And from what I understand, the guy that does the film assets makes new code when new code comes out.
So he patches the patch to block the code?
Yeah, basically. Because I was just playing the game, and it was the newest code with all the film assets. There might be ways,
I'm not a programmer. It's beyond me.
Right.
I did buy Pinball Browser just to extract sounds from the game, so if I wanted a sound effect to use.
You're on fire!
But I mean, like, I think Travis Murray said that he put, like, hip-hop music on his Iron Maiden, or, some people have different music on Beatles. It's
legendary,
or Guardians.
That Iron Maiden.
So
I don't see why you'd want to change Iron Maiden music. It's already perfect.
That's pretty good. Well, not hip-hop, anyway.
No, not hip-hop, no.
It's an Albany expression.
I see.
All right, lost my train of thought. We were talking about CGC. So shipping 2023, probably not going to happen.
I was told to expect it mid to late 23. I don't know if I'm not worried about it. I didn't, it's only deposit. It's not like they have all my money.
Yeah, and they've never not delivered in the past.
Yeah.
So relatively low risk, other than you risk the chance of, passing out from old age before getting it.
And then American Pinball, it's like Cuphead was rumored. So was He-Man.
Whoa, Matt. What's before Cuphead is that video they just dropped. Did you see it?
I did not.
They put out a 2-minute trailer for Galactic Tank Force Signature Edition on why you should buy it.
Oh.
It's pretty epic. You should watch it.
Wowee!
Wowee indeed, Bobby. Hello, I'm Major Duke Moonwalker, here from the future to tell you about a great offer from American Pinball today. The top-of-the-line exclusive release, Galactic Tank Force Signature Edition.
Yeah, it has a lunchbox, and it's got the actors in it and some kid playing the game. They're telling the kid about all the features.
Oh, so American Pinball must not breach my YouTube algorithm.
I grabbed it from Pinside. I didn't see it either. Yeah, so they're saying buy the Signature Edition. It comes with a poster. It comes with a banner. It comes with a lunchbox.
They're still selling those?
They need to sell 200, they said.
Don't you get like a leather jacket with Centaur or some shit and a helmet?
A badass leather jacket, yeah.
2 years after you pay for it.
Yeah.
And it's only in size small. But yeah, so once GTF rolls off the line with their final tank edition, then we're hearing Cuphead, right?
Well, then I've heard 3 original themes.
What?
Like, I don't know that's all I've heard is 3 original themes.
I've heard that from Kaneda, but before I heard Kaneda talk, I've heard David Fix talk because he likes to talk. And last year he was talking about his favorite subject, Barry Osler. And he was saying after GTF they'd have his game, and that was like last year.
Oh, single level food truck?
Well, back then he didn't say it was single level.
No. But
Yeah,
that's
something
what
like that.
I heard. I mean, food truck was not. I recall seeing pictures of the game, like the actual mechs, like the soda fountain, where you'd hit the ball into like the soda fountain thing and get points.
That was like a coin pusher or something too.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird.
Maybe.
I mean, I feel like that sells maybe 100 if that's what they make.
It's tough, even if they play good. It's tough to get people excited with an original theme.
So what was the thing on the Signature Edition video that you felt was an Easter egg to the next theme?
Oh, okay, I'll take that back. I don't think that video had Easter eggs in it. I think that video was a sign that
They weren't moving forward very fast.
well, that they need to sell them because David Fix had said, famously now, it's kind of a meme on Pinside, that he gets 50 calls a week for GTF Deluxe Editions. But yet they stated in a marketing video that they halted Deluxe Editions in lieu of making the Signature Editions. So, like, why wouldn't you continue to make an item that's selling?
That's insane. Like, I'd have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, but Fix is a salesman. I don't believe a word he says.
I love my GTF.
You know, I love it too. I love to hate it. I love to hate it. I love it. I hate it. It just depends on the day of the week. I love it so much so that I bought a banner. They're put them on their website for sale for $99.
Wow. I had a pretty good game on it during the tournament, so I was happy. I beat Nathan, which he's not familiar with that game. It's hard to beat that guy on anything.
Zelensky?
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Yes, but I knew how to start multi-ball, and that's what I did. And then I pounded the tank. Pew, 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 pew.
Tank pounder.
Stupid robot.
Did you pack your fudge too?
Chock full of nuts.
Game, everyone. Everyone will remember Galactic Tank Force.
Oh yeah, I'm on their website right now. Where do I buy this banner?
Right by the Legends of Valhalla one.
Here's the thing. Has anyone ever bought anything from Stern?
Yeah.
Like, I bought their Translite holder that lights up.
Okay.
Okay. So that was $100 some, kind of expensive for what it is. But anyway, I ordered it. That shipped the same day and got to my house the next day.
Nice. I've just bought merchandise, and like it's been pretty quick.
For American Pinball, I ordered this and it's been crickets. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna get it.
Oh, not even like a confirmation or
Nothing.
We
They
received
just
your
took my
order?
money.
I when they announced that they had the CPUs and the node boards, I immediately bought some for extras because I'd been waiting to put some of those extras in.
The AP node boards? Is that what you mean? Or Stearns?
Stearns.
Oh, okay. But I think this banner looks really cool. It's got Captain Cayenne on the moon planet.
Yeah, it's a good looking banner.
Yeah, I'm trying to buy one right now.
That's 2 sold AP because of Johnny Pinball.
Yeah.
You should send me a shirt.
Back, yeah. You should get a lunchbox.
I'll take a lunchbox.
They're not selling those unless you buy the deluxe edition. It's got that lenticular art as well, translate or...
Yeah, that's all actually the signature edition. Allegedly, you can buy the lunchbox. You just don't get the thermos. That's what's exclusive.
Oh.
Yeah, unless they're going to walk that back.
I'd survive. Not that I'd ever have a American Pinball lunchbox coming. If I was to buy a lunchbox, it'd be a triple drain lunchbox. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, one with Joel Engelbert's face on it.
Well,
Mint.
I don't need that.
Mint. He's the only one we haven't had on yet. Should we invite him next time?
Oh, yeah. We could.
Do you think he'd do it?
We're going to try to get the triple drain people, I think, to the Bond 60th. Heads up. Or Tom wants to host a tournament, like a triple drain hosted pinball tournament. And we get Travis and Joel up here, you know.
Oh, like at Tom's house or a public location?
Probably at Lumberjack Johnny's.
So, guys, Dave, we got to ask Dave the question while we got him here. You know, do you tournament direct, Dave?
I do lightly, and I mean, there's tournaments where I've directed because I had to, but I do. But if it's usually a really challenging question, I'll defer to Matt.
Yeah, I mean, if you happen to, maybe have one of those questions right now.
Oh, that'd be a perfect time for it.
It's time for the world famous segment. Is Matt a bozo or a
super genius?
I can tell you the biggest question I have to Matt is, all right, we're in a multi-ball. We got a stuck ball. When I open this door and the ball held on the flipper drains, is it going to come back? Or did we pull the switches?
It's best to pull the switches. You know, Stern has a setting, and it's like, now I'm gonna be a bozo in this. I can't know the exact name of the setting, but it's like the ball save on coin door open or something.
Coin door ball save. So if the coin door is open, it'll save the ball.
But I haven't really seen that work. I haven't really tried it, I guess. I should go try that on Godzilla right now.
It worked on Jurassic Park, the last turn at the Venom launch.
So basically, once you shut the coin door, it's just going to auto-launch how many balls you lost while the...
So...
But then that would be a problem, too, because if you're getting the stuck ball, you would just have to drain that one. You couldn't put it in the shooter lane, because as soon as you close the door... Well, it might launch it and then try to throw one out of the trough. Yeah, I suppose that'd be fine.
I don't know if I did the right thing or not, but, the door was open, so the flippers were dead. I had just deactivated the switch. I put the ball in the shooter lane. The one that was in the flippers had drained. When I put the glass in, put the bar in, locked down the bar, as soon as I closed it, it shot the ball that was in the shooter lane out and then added the other ball that drained. So they were right back into the multi-ball.
So it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's our answer on that one.
You were on the other side of the room. I still don't know if I did the right thing or not. Was it the right thing to do to put that in the shooter lane?
Yes, especially because there's... What else can you do? Just like throw the ball up the ramp and try to close the glass real quick in the door. Hold on, we'll get your flippers back on. Hopefully this takes a long time.
Yeah, hopefully. Hope and a prayer.
Shove it in the T-Rex's mouth.
Yeah, I've already done the bad move, just during, I don't know if it was during league or what it was, but we had some type of event. I know it wasn't anything big or important, but I had pulled the switch out on the coin door so that you energize the coils again. I said, here, hold your ball, hold your flipper and hold the ball. And I put everything on there, but no matter how fast you think you're going to close that coin door, that little power blurb is enough to put that ball in motion on a flipper and potentially mess up that player. That was the wrong thing to do.
Oh, I've never really seen that. Where the cradle just gave out, basically.
Well, when you close the door, you have a brief instance. You have that coin door button. You pull it out so that you re-energize your.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Instead of, I thought you meant just disabling the buttons like completely, because that's kind of what I do.
We've done that on a.
But yeah, so you pull out the switch so you get the power back, then they can put it on. But yeah, that I don't think that'd work.
No, it doesn't. So that was a bad call on my part.
Yeah, because you're gonna have that brief moment where it crosses the threshold and it loses power for a second until.
Kind of just a pinball problem for tournaments.
Well, I gotta say, being a tournament director, you need to know the games though too.
That is very true. How they're going to behave, what's going to happen when you do certain things on the games. Because I'll ask, sometimes I don't know all that at District 82, and I'll have to ask Eric, is like, are we going to have power? Or, definitely true. But that's your tournament directing tip, listeners.
Thank you, Matt. Always a pleasure to ask you such detailed and technical questions.
Super genius.
You're probably the busiest tournament director in Wisconsin. With that in mind, that means you've seen a lot of games. And that takes me to a viewer-submitted question that we have. Now, this viewer asks, can you think of any hidden gem pinball machines right now in this market that you could recommend to someone that's affordable but really fun? Packs a lot of punch for the price.
I just picked up Pinbot and I love it.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. I was thinking like Earthshaker, maybe one of the Lawler disaster games.
Well, Earthshaker's great because it's got everything.
But if you went with like, let's say, talking like System 11s here, you get a Funhouse or a Whirlwind, then in time you can like upgrade it if you want to the 2.0s, or same with like Bride of Pinbot. Bride of Pinbot's a good one.
Funhouse and Bride of Pinbot are not System 11s.
You're talking $5,000-$6,000 for one of those machines, though. You can still get some.
No, can't you get an Earthshaker right now for like $3,000 or something?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think like Whirlwind and Funhouse they're not really hidden gems. People know about them, and they are kind of pricey.
Yeah.
Sharpshooter, that's a hidden gem, and it's got a fun spinner that makes horsey noises. I picked up mine for $600.
I'm going to recommend one I never thought I would, but District 82 turned me onto it, and that's X's and O's.
Ah.
It's really fun with that lame skill shot. I mean, it's not lame, it's a time skill shot.
That was the first time I ever yelled at somebody for starting the game before all the players were there.
Yeah, that's a big no-no.
In his defense, he didn't know the game enough to know that there's a time skill shot, but he was player one, started the game, and player two was probably out smoking a cigarette. But by the time player two got back, his skill shot had timed out.
I know if Thorin is on that game and there's a problem, he's just like, Matt, you go take care of that. I can't. I got to stay right here, because he can't leave the game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to do this. No.
Yeah, if you guys at home aren't too familiar with X's and O's, it has a time skill shot, but it's not everything in the game. It will definitely give you that confidence, like, oh, okay, I got a bonus, because you get 100,000 points on the first one.
Yeah.
But there's other ways to score. You've got a grid, just like in
bonus is big
Mystic.
in that game.
Right, you want to fill up your grid. And then it's got some kind of cool shots on the left, where if you make it through, it's like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000.
But the skill shot advances that shot. So if you make the skill shot, it goes up to like...
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Maybe starts at 10, goes to 20, and then goes to 40. And then if you can do it... The third skill shot isn't worth jack. It's worth like 30,000 or something. But...
In tournament play.
Yeah.
Extra balls off.
But it still advances your drop targets and that shot on the left.
Yeah, the game's got it all. I mean, it's got drop targets. It doesn't have slingshots.
No, it doesn't have slings.
And that's what I kind of like that, because it's different and...
It's got saucers in the out lanes for a possible luck box ball save or a proper nudge save.
Are they reversed like Bally's of that era?
Kind of like Vector.
Yeah, Vector's reversed.
That's one of those, you've played that game like a million times, and then now when you get asked a question about it, you can't see it in your head.
Okay, yeah, I got it pulled up. It's reversed on the left. So if you see one of those, I'm guessing it's not worth more than $1,500. Definitely worth a play or a buy. Like, I would take this over Kings of Steel.
I like Kings of Steel, but it's a one-trick pony in a tournament. All the shots are good, but if you're in a tournament, that's all you do is hit the right target. All you do. That's it.
And we're talking Kings of Steel here.
Yeah, Kings of Steel, not X's and O's. But the shots are good. It's fun. That could be a good starter, because it's completely shallow, but lots of stuff you can do.
Any other games you can think of? You had a moment now.
Well, I just popping on Pinside right now and taking a look. Well, you can get a Turtles Pro for $5,200.
You should watch Johnny Pinball's video.
Did you not watch my latest video?
He saw the end of it.
Oh,
the ending is worth the wait. With the Stern Pros and premiums dropping in price, quite a bit. Definitely a great time to start an arcade if you had some seed money.
Yep. But then Stern's advertisements are going to put you out of business.
Oh man, Kerry Hardy. He set us straight. He told us how to turn them off.
Really? That doesn't bother me at all. I don't mind him at all.
No, I don't even either at home. Like how often am I going to see it? You know what I mean? Because
I had mine turned off before this advertisement gate even started because I've got this weird thing. I don't like seeing people's hands because they're like all veiny sometimes. So I had that already turned off.
You got a hand fetish?
Or a reverse hand fetish. I don't like looking at hands.
I see. Yeah, that doesn't bug me. Because, like, if I'm in front of my game, I'm playing it. Whatever. And it takes a while to get into a track mode anyway. But people gotta be people and complain about something.
I think it was all in good fun. I don't know if anyone was super serious that it was like the worst thing that ever happened to pinball.
I hope not.
Yeah, I guess before we go, I don't know if we mentioned it too much. Stern's got an Insider Connected app now.
Oh, yeah. It works now. It took a while.
Hooray. Day one, it crashed.
Like, right away, it was crashed. But later in the day, it was fine. Because I was like, yeah, they don't even work. And then it did.
So now you can give Stern your location and your habits to them for free.
Yep.
I have not downloaded it yet, and I'm curious if they got anything in there for operators.
I think they do, because didn't they turn off? Don't you have to get the app? Like, you can't log in on their website anymore or something? I could be wrong, but I thought that's what somebody told me.
I would guess the mobile site, if you're on your phone, the Stern, whatever the mobile site is, probably redirects to the app. But if you're on a desktop, I'm sure it lets you sign in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, desktop, you can still sign in fine. Well, you'd have to be, especially as an operator, to build your leaderboards and all that good stuff. And I mean, you could do that on your phone, but I don't. I like to have a desktop to do stuff.
Keyboard
like
and mouse, so much better.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, their podcast is behind that sign in too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but you can get to it from the app now.
Yeah, that's nice, I guess. That's one reason to download the app. I always forget they have that podcast because it's...
But don't they charge for that?
No, it's free.
Because there's like two levels of Insider Connected, isn't there?
The paid version's got extra stuff behind the paywall.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it looks like you can get them. You don't need to be voting for Stern's podcast anyway.
No. Make sure to vote for the Triball podcast
Triball.
This Twippy season.
Twippy.
And hell, why not? For YouTube, vote Johnny Pinball, please.
Yep.
Together, we can take it.
We never did talk about the home pins.
Oh, yeah. Home pins. Stern home pins. They had 3 of them. Star Wars Comic, Jurassic Park, and they're clearancing them. Is that something you would consider buying for $3,300 new?
No.
That's a great answer to the previous question, though, about something fun to have at home.
Yeah, actually, your hidden gem, that's not a bad price for what you're getting there.
The Jurassic Park, especially.
That one I saw a little bit higher, like $3,500.
The Star Wars one isn't bad. It's fun to play. I just wish, and I don't know if anybody's looked into it, but if you could put like a regular size DMD on there, if there's...
Yeah, that's the only thing that drives me nuts is that LCD is so small.
I bet with a will, if you had access to a full-size cabinet, you could just toss everything in a normal cabinet and it would work. Because they say the playfield's identical. Other than it's made out of MDF.
No, by the time you do that, though, you also just buy a Pro.
And they don't have the leaf switch in the lockdown bar. So you have to, if you take your lockdown bar off, you have to physically disconnect a wire from the button on the lockdown bar.
You could either hack it with a leaf switch for the better lockdown bar or move the button with it, I guess.
The Star Wars one I don't like because it's like it has a ball lock that you lock the ball, then you use your other ball to knock that ball out to start your multi-ball. But if you drain, it just stays there. It's kind of like a TNA kind of vibe.
So you can lock still.
Yes. Or you could start a game and have multi-ball ready.
I see.
Yeah. And that's just me as a like if you have a family, that's fine. That's just the tournament player in me getting butthurt. But I would play the Jurassic Park one. Like I would, that one's not bad. Be a good one for like in the bathroom or something. Like.
Why don't you give us a bathroom check? Is the toilet still flush?
I'm good. I don't flush.
Oh, Matt, you're not going to believe this. There were as many quarters and strikes and spares as there was in, like, Venom.
Really?
Yes.
That game is so good, though.
I can't believe it. Yeah. I mean, we got two things going on there. Non-pinball people love it, and all of the pinball people that just came to Lumberjack Johnny's, they've never seen it, so they all plugged $1 into it. That is a great bowler game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I kind of wish Anderson didn't put the high score so high. I'd be playing it a little more.
Well, New Year's Eve, we're going to reset everything,
Oh yeah, we're having a tournament at Lumberjack Johnny's on New Year's Eve.
and we're going to reset all the high scores. It's a high score tournament.
Nice. So that's Appleton,
Yes.
naturally.
Yeah. First chance to get points in 2024.
It'll end shortly after midnight.
And Eric Thorne is doing one on the 30th. That will end after midnight as well.
I hope I can get to one of these.
So a whole weekend of tournaments for New Year's celebrations.
I was trying to find the quote with Jersey Jack, since you said that Gottlieb Strikes and Spares has more coin drop in it, because he was just quoted saying that Godfather was the #1 earning pinball machine in the magazine he subscribes to.
Oh, I heard that too.
This is the November issue of Replay, the industry trade magazine. We advertise on the magazine. Shameless plug. We got the back cover. In this month's operator poll, which is based on operators across the United States, earnings, the #1 pinball machine on location is the Godfather.
Because I was going to say, you need to submit as an operator Gottlieb Strikes and Spares and dethrone Godfather as a #1 earning game.
Well, Dave has a Godfather there. He has a direct comparison.
I will, in fact, I empty them both on the same day, so I'll be down there. If I don't do it tomorrow, I'll do it Friday, and I'll be able to look at everything and have a full report on Strikes and Spares versus Godfather.
Nice. I look forward to it. And is this going to be tomorrow?
Yes.
I can wait. We can just throw that in post.
Okay.
All right, guys, in Radio Land, you won't have long to wait for the edit.
This just in, Strikes and Spares beats Godfather.
What?
Incredible. Wow.
A $2,500 game from 1995. Oh, my.
All right, well, take us out of here. Dave, where can everybody find your pinball machines?
I have pinball machines at both Lumberjack Johnny's in Green Bay and Appleton. I've got machines at TNC Pub in De Pere and TAQ Brewery in Kaukauna.
All right, so get out there and play. Go to Lumberjack Johnny's, throw some axes, have some wings, maybe a beverage. The Sundrop Sour beer is always popular.
And the barbecue pork and chicken that's been wheeling out of there is amazing.
Oh, that sounds good.
If you need any reason to go there, they have Labyrinth, guys.
Labyrinth.
Play Labyrinth. It's a barrel of fun, trust me.
And GTF. And Bond 60.
And a Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, that might not be there that long.
No, unfortunately, I think that one's coming out. It's I keep having a lost ball issue, and I haven't figured it out yet. Pull it in the shop and have Patrick dig into it.
Aw. It's a fan favorite.
It is.
Kinda. Yeah, a lot of people walk right up to it.
All right, Matt, where can they find you if the people need to find you?
My name is Matt McCarty. I'm on Facebook. I'm friends with a lot of pinball people that I have yet to meet, so I'm always cool with that. And that's about it, or else listen to Triball when we drop them, and don't forget to vote in the Twippies.
Amen. And I'm Johnny Pinball. You can find me here at triballpodcast@gmail.com. Actually, you can reach all of us that way. Also on YouTube as Johnny Pinball, and on Facebook as Johnny Pinball.
And if anybody has some tournament director questions they'd like to stump me with, send it to that email. And any other questions you may have, we'll gladly talk on the air about them.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Dave, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Great show, guys.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, Matt. Borg out.
Borg out.